Hello there and welcome to CNR Extra here on Citi TV, coming to you live from our studios at number 5, Ola Hansen Lane, Tesano, Accra. My name is Philip Ni Latte. Coming up, Minister of Health Kweku Ashaiman announces Ghana will take stock of some childhood vaccines by the next 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. We have done all necessary arrangements between 2 to 3 weeks. Honorable colleagues, let me be very honest with you. There are certain things or certain activities that are not controlled from the ministry when it comes to vaccine ordering, procurement, shipping, and all that.
Soldier killed in Ashaiman on Saturday, March 4, laid to rest.
Son was coming from work to home and then he met this incident. We didn't take it easy. At all. So on the process, we went to the police station to do official report. And then the military also came to us at home. He went to the girl, not her girlfriend. It's a friend. They are playing mate. They all play trumpet. But unfortunately, he left there late. So on his way coming home, that's where he was attacked. And then they were struggling with him. He was holding an iPhone. So the iPhone was their target. But what is in the bag, they don't know. So when they succeeded the iPhone, then they ran away.
Tension mounting at Dondoli, a suburb of Wa in the Upper West region, following the killing of a middle-aged man by the police.
Called him and he was on motorbike while we were talking. So I hear him say, hey. And the call ended. Few minutes later, like 2 minutes, he called back and said that he was shot with a...
And later on CNR Extra, patrons on Citi TV's Heritage Caravan given a treat of a lifetime at the Hughesbet Hotel in Sunyani in the Bono region with another fun-filled time at Maha Beach Resort on Thursday.
It's been amazing. Like traveling across regions, meeting new people, meeting friends on the bus and all that. It's been amazing. Quite an experience.
Great. And we're now leaving. We are going to be on the bus for at least 10 good hours. What was your experience like when we're traveling back down and we spent over 12 to 13 hours?
So our bus, we like to have night games and
Maha Beach. Yeah, any resorts in front of the sea, around the sea, Charlie. Superb. We expect a lot.
CNR Extra is live on Citi TV, and you can join us with your thoughts, submissions, and comments as always via WhatsApp line 0204447033, and you can join us on YouTube as we stream there live on CityTube. In studio is my colleague Jude Mensa Duncan to have the conversation with me on these stories.
I'm humbled to be here.
I like
Philip.
your outfit.
Thank you.
Sure that
yeah, I mean, we are in a season of making Ghana, so it's very important that we promote everything that has got to do with our very proud heritage as a people.
Exactly. Let's bring you the very first story, and that has to do with the shortage of vaccines that has hit the country. Yesterday, the Health Minister Kweku Ashaiman was in Parliament to give some assurances. Let's bring you that insert.
The Minister of Health, Kweku Ashaiman, says the country is expected to take stock of some childhood vaccines by next week. Ghana is currently experiencing a nationwide shortage of vaccines, which, according to the minister, has been as a result of the depreciation of the cedi in the last quarter of 2022. Speaking in Parliament, Kweku Ashaiman assured of urgent efforts to procure the vaccines in no time. My Citi News' Ni Ayikwe Okain has more in the following report. Ni Ayikwe, what more can you tell us?
Following the shortage of vaccines in the country, the Health Minister, Ashaiman, was in Parliament on Thursday, March 9, 2023, to answer questions on measures being taken by the government to deal with the situation, and he assured that the vaccines would be procured in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
We are expecting to receive vaccines within 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. We have done all necessary arrangements between 2 to 3 weeks. Honorable colleagues, let me be very honest with you. There are certain things or certain activities that are not controlled from the ministry when it comes to vaccine ordering, procurement, shipping, and all that. We have done the necessary things that we need to do. Placed our orders about a week ago, done all the necessary arrangements with the UNICEF people. They have given us indication. We don't know how quickly they're going to get air freight to come. We are pushing them to do, that is why I'm saying between 2 to 3 weeks. We are doing all things very possible to make sure that we even get some of these vaccines earlier. But the specific time frames that we put on will be very difficult for me to assure the House.
But what has contributed to the delay in the procurement of the vaccines?
What I'm trying to say is that we are affected by a shortage of foreign currency and the depreciation of our currency. We had a Citi budget which couldn't meet the devaluation rates that we needed to do, and that is what disrupted our procurement processes. So we couldn't make payments when Citi actually jumped to around 15 to 17 cities.
With regard to the alleged military brutalities on residents of Ashaiman following the alleged killing of a soldier in the area, the Member of Parliament for Katamanso, Joseph Akwete-Tete, tells journalists that some members of his constituency have also been brutalized and dehumanized, hence the need for an apology and psychological support to the victims.
Got the information that the military moved to Tulaku, which happened to be in my constituency. And so I decided to really find out what was actually happening. And the information I got was that my people or my constituents were subjected to barbaric activities. This includes, if you go to Tulaku, where the slaughterhouse is, in fact, the place is not a good place that I would say the place needs improvement. But these military officers compel some of the people working in Tulaku to go and drink the wastewater of the slaughterhouse. If you know that place very well, you'll be appalled with some of these activities.
There's a serious allegation.
Yes.
Do we have any evidence to that effect?
Okay, for now, because of what happened, I requested for video evidence or any other form of evidence. But because of what happened, they couldn't take any of such pictures or videos. But I've received these things from different accounts. Even different accounts. Even they were also forced to take this excretion of the cattle. So that one too, in fact, affected them psychologically.
Meanwhile, the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament has announced a visit to the area next week Thursday to inform them on their next line of action.
The members of the committee, the Minister of Defense, and the Military High Command will pay a visit on Thursday to Ashaiman to dialogue with the people of Ashaiman as well as the Military High Command. So for the meantime, we pleaded with our honorable member from Ashaiman. I don't wish to be in his shoes. We all have to admit as human beings that there were excesses, and therefore we sympathize with the people of Ashaiman. At the same time, we also sympathize with the Ghana Armed Forces for our young men taking the law into their own hands to kill one of theirs. But a situation like this, all we can say is that we need peace. We, as members of the committee, cannot inflame passions by going there to make comments that will annoy a faction. We are not to do that. Our mission is to make sure we have peace in this country.
Incidents like this in the life of the country do happen. We are shaping up a country, and we are going to have some of these incidents, regrettable incidences happening there. But I will still appeal to the people of Ghana to be very respectful of people in uniform. It will help all of us. But we cannot say, I will not say anything until the committee itself and us have gone on Thursday to the place and visited the place to ascertain for ourselves. One of the reasons why we are not going immediately is that investigation is still ongoing. We don't want to compromise whatever investigation that will happen. And that's why we task our colleagues to tone down on the statement so that we can all work together as unison to ensure that this tricky situation is brought under control.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Aikwe Okain for Citi News.
So in the report, two issues in there, but let's focus on the vaccine. After that, we focus on that of the Ashaiman. But it was obvious that the health minister wasn't certain when the vaccines will arrive in Ghana. Mind you, when he had a press conference on Tuesday, it was the same concern that all the journalists were raising, asking him when the vaccines will get into the country. When the president also addressed Parliament by giving his State of the Nation address, the same thing as to when exactly the vaccines will get into the country wasn't certain. And as of yesterday, when the health minister appeared before Parliament, he wasn't so certain by saying that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, the vaccines will get into the country. Well, some of the stakeholders in the health sector have raised questions and they are not pleased about this. What do you make of this?
I mean, Philip, this is completely unacceptable. I mean, if you follow the conversation around the vaccines, when it first happened, we were told that is a result, or the problem has become what it is as a result of the cedi depreciation. So in effect, we didn't have the enough funds to buy the vaccines. Then weeks later, the health minister at the press briefing at the Ministry of Information told us that it's a result of a slowdown in routine vaccinations, which include childhood immunization programs, as a result of the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic. So even in the first place, you get the impression that we've not fully appreciated the enormity of the problem.
Of global challenge.
Yes, the global issues, which of course included the COVID-19 pandemic. And you see, it is very unfortunate because this is a government, or let me say a president, who told us not too long ago that he is mindful of the next generation and not the next election. But you see, in the same space, government is able to have enough funds to give an institution like the NIA to procure Ghana cards for an election registration process, right? That's what about some 100 million were told by the finance minister in Parliament somewhere last week or 2 weeks ago. And now talking about the funds. So the problem really is, when did we realize that we were heading towards a shortage of vaccines? I mean, somewhere October, the conversation had begun. Now October, November, December, January, February, March, and we are still where we are. It's clearly as a result of poor planning, lack of foresight, and it's unfortunate. Even with the 3 weeks you told us about the vaccines arriving, you clearly get the impression that he's been under some pressure to give a specific timeline. So it's unfortunate.
Won't you give government some thumbs up by saying that they are making efforts to get these vaccines? Some amount of monies have been paid. We've paid UNICEF $6.4 million for the supply of the childhood vaccines that the health minister stated yesterday, and also says that government is making frantic efforts to ensure that such shortage doesn't happen again. As of yesterday, when he was in Parliament, a question was thrown at him by the energy minister, that is Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, asking him whether is this the first time such shortage is happening. And he said that no, in the year 2015 to 2016, the same incident happened in the country. So won't you say that, or don't you think that government is making everything possible to ensure that the vaccines arrive in the country?
We can't give you credit when you don't deserve it. And that is straightforward. I mean, isn't even isn't it even more problematic? Go back to the question was asked by Honorable Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare about how much you've paid or whether or not you've even paid money in the first place for these vaccines. And his answer was straightforward. He said, yes, we've paid. And for me, I'm wondering, you've paid money and you don't know when exactly these vaccines are coming, and we are not disturbed, we are not worried. I mean, if we were running the country as a private entity, would anybody give out a lot of money, and I'm sure it's running to millions of dollars, and not know when to expect these vaccines? So, I mean, Philip, the truth of the matter is that it's been a result of poor planning. And you see, the minister, listening to him at the Information Ministry 2-3 days ago, he appeared very knackered. He appeared very tired. This is somebody. He appears very tired. So I'm thinking that, and considering, I don't know what's with him.
He appears very tired. I'm sure because a lot of thinking, a lot of meetings.
I don't know what's with
pushing
him.
together vaccines.
I don't know what's with him and vaccines. You remember the whole Sputnik V controversies and all of that. The tests they were running at the Frontiers controversy at the airport. So and just mind you, this is somebody who's been Deputy Minister of Interior, Deputy under Kufuor Finance, Deputy Minister of Trade. He served in the past on the Small Arms Commission. He's been Public Accounts Chair before. I think he's tired, and this is the time we need some fresh face to lead the health ministry. Remember when COVID hit its height, and there was some reshuffle of a sort. Dr. Okuboy was brought in as deputy. You saw the energy, really, and the verve he brought into health communication at the time when the country didn't know where to turn to, when the pandemic was just ravaging everything. So I think it's about time we needed a fresh face at the health ministry.
Well, all what we want right now is the vaccines to get into the country, and until the vaccines get into the country, we wouldn't stop talking about this issue, because mothers are asking that their babies be vaccinated. Away from this issue, let's go to another big one that has to do with the situation in Ashaiman, and a group calling itself Ashaiman Lives Matters. They are asking the president, that is President Akufo-Addo, to, as a matter of agency, bring the perpetrators that went to Ashaiman, that is the military, to book.
A group calling itself Ashaiman Lives Matters, calling on President Akufo-Addo to bring the perpetrators of the military invasion in Ashaiman that led to several people injured and traumatized to account. Soldiers unleashed mayhem on some residents of Ashaiman on Tuesday, with helicopters flying over the area because a young military officer, Trooper Imoro Sharif, was allegedly stabbed in the town on Saturday, March 4, 2023. The Ghana Armed Forces have justified the action, saying it was an intelligence-led operation conducted on suspected hideouts of criminals. The following report has more.
On Tuesday, March 7, some residents of Ashaiman were subjected to torture by some members of the Ghana Armed Forces in an invasion that also saw the arrest of many. This was reported to be in retaliation to the alleged killing of a young soldier, Trooper Imoro Sharif, by unknown persons. Imoro Sharif was found dead with stab wounds at Ashaiman Taifa on Saturday. Subsequently, the Ghana Armed Forces confirmed the invasion of the community was sanctioned by the institution, but refuted allegations that the action was a reprisal attack following the death of Imoro Sharif. The people of Ashaiman say they want an investigation conducted into the incident. Emmanuel Na is Assembly Member for the Niman electoral area and a convener for the Ashaiman Lives Matter.
The president needs to bring those who came to brutalize the people to book. He must put them to order. He needs to, in fact, let the military command understand that what they did is uncalled for. Then also, some of our people are still with the police, with the military. They are in the custody of the military. We are seeking for immediate release of our people to join their families. We also seeking that the president will compensate the people, but then make sure that properties that are destroyed will also be attended to. So these are a few of the things we listed. Because Ashaiman isn't the Ashaiman we used to know. Ashaiman is very safe and calm. Ashaiman, as we know, have a whole lot of people who live within and also comes to do business here. Of course, we condemn the killers of the young military because he is our pride. He's the pride of Ashaiman. We are happy we have a military officer who will be protecting Ashaiman. But the fact that the sudden happening, okay, that doesn't mean they should also come to do what they came to do.
MP for Ashaiman constituency, Ernest Henry Nogbe, at a press conference on Thursday, called on the residents to refrain from taking the law into their own hands and trust the leadership of the community to get justice for the victims.
Thank you. Chobwe! Chobwe! Thank you. First of all, let me commend the organizers. Let me say, commend all of us for gathering us to brief the press on matters arising. I just have a few remarks to make. Yesterday, I met the victims of the situation, and then we encouraged them. We gave them hope. All that I want to say now is that nobody should take the law into his or her own hand. Your leaders, as an MP, we are going to fight for justice. And as we are fighting for justice, we don't expect anybody to act contrary to what we are fighting for. When you see any military man in this community, do not think he has come here because of you. Don't attack anybody. Just remain calm while we, the leaders, fight for you. I hope I'm clear. Yes. I'm rushing to Parliament now to make a statement on this matter once again. And again, the Defense and Interior Committee will be meeting, emergency meeting this morning on this matter.
Imoro Sharif, the soldier who was killed in Ashaiman in Accra on Saturday, March 4, has been laid to rest. The soldier, according to sources, was returning from Taifa and heading towards his residence at Zongolaka in Ashaiman when the unfortunate incident occurred. His remains were transported from the 37 Military Hospital mortuary to the Burma Camp Cemetery in Accra. The following report has more. It was a sorrowful moment at the Burma Camp Military Cemetery in Accra when the body of Imoro Sharif was brought in from the 37 Military Hospital mortuary. The 21-year-old Imoro was a young soldier who was found dead in a pool of blood near the Armania Hotel in Ashaiman. Though he was carrying a laptop and other electronic gadgets, the attackers made away with only his iPhone. After the gruesome murder of the young soldier, followed the invasion of some heavily armed soldiers in the area at dawn on Tuesday, March 7. According to the Ghana Armed Forces, the swoop its officers conducted at Ashaiman was not to avenge the killing of the soldier, but rather to fish out the perpetrators of the heinous crime. However, as a Muslim, Imoro was on March 9 laid to rest. His remains were transported from the 37 Military Hospital mortuary to the Burma Camp Military Cemetery, where the final funeral rites were performed. Abdul Rahman Ahmed is uncle to the deceased. He says the incident came to him as a shock. He further refuted reports that Imoro was murdered when he went to visit his girlfriend at Taifa.
Our son was coming from work home, and then he met this incident. We didn't take it easy. Didn't take it easy at all. So on the process, we went to the police station to do official report, and then the military also came to us at home. He went to the girl, not her girlfriend. It's a friend. They are playmates. They all play trumpet. But unfortunately, he left there late. So on his way coming home, that's where he was attacked. I learned they were struggling with him. He was holding an iPhone. So the iPhone was their target. But what is in the bag, they don't know. So when they succeeded the iPhone, then they ran away.
The police are currently investigating the circumstances under which the soldier was killed and are appealing for information from the public. But friends and families who came to pay their last respect to the deceased expressed some fond memories they had with him.
Imoro was a good boy. He took the Ashaiman Cadets Band to the nationals and regionals, all that. He was very good in playing the trumpet. He loved trumpets. He ate trumpets. He even followed me to play other bands outside school and all that. So I think 3 days before his death, he called he will be joining the Akosombo Methodist Brigade Band to Independence Day in Akosombo. But Saturday morning we heard the news he had passed on.
Justice must be done. Yes, whatever it is, they need to find the one who did that, and so that at least we all be happy for the boy. Yeah.
Family and friends of Imoro are asking for justice to be served. But the question also is what happened in Ashaiman is what a lot of people are also talking about. How the military also went into Ashaiman to arrest some of the residents there and the aftermath of whatever happened in the area. Well, some say 48 or 72 hours after the incident, the president hasn't still spoken about it. Amnesty International is concerned about the president's silence. And also the MP for Norton is also concerned about the president's silence. What do you make of it?
Philip, it's sad watching the scenes from the burial of the late soldier yesterday on CNR. I was nearly moved to tears. Very heart-wrenching stuff. And I've always said that, you see, democracy, living in a democracy should not be a blood sport, really. I mean, democracy should be a principled enterprise where there's respect for one another and, of course, respect for authority. And I'm referring to the death of the late soldier. So it's quite sad. And on the part of the actions of the soldiers in the aftermath of the young soldiers' loss of life, him losing his life, I mean, Philip, you don't break the law in an attempt to fix the law, right? So the soldiers, in my view, were wrong on all fronts. Very unfortunate. It's sad that it's happened. And yesterday, when we had the State of the Nation address coverage, I told you in the studio that, see, I was very disappointed in the president that he didn't touch on it. You see, as for him, he plays a dual role.
Don't you think the president is still gathering some more information?
No,
before he can speak on this
as
issue?
Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, in the first place, one of your own has been killed. So what do? You sympathize with the family. And it didn't necessarily have to be a paragraph. It could have just been a one-liner. And of course, you'd also condemn the actions of the military, because we've said that the actions of the military remind us of a dark past in this country's history where we don't want to go to again. Listen to some of the senior citizens in this country talk about what it meant to live under military dictatorship. It's nothing to entertain in the first place. So for me, it's unfortunate. I've said in the past that we've reached this position because of what I personally call a permission structure. So 2 years ago, a soldier's phone was stolen in Wa, and soldiers were unleashed, went rampage. That's jungle living, really. Look at what happened in Parliament. And I've said, if what happened in Parliament on the night of 7th January 2021, you take your mind back to it. If you saw the scenes that happened in Parliament, you won't be surprised at what you saw in Ashaiman. mind you, these soldiers in the night, in Parliament, in the chamber that night, were holding guns, facing off with the minority, the NDC caucus at the time. And now we are seeing this. So for me, an Idra, Techiman South Coalition Center, where live bullets were being fired. So it's become like a permission structure because we condemned and didn't make sure that we had proper resolutions on that at the time. Now it's like free for all. So we don't build countries like that. And I would want to end my point by saying that personally, I'm disappointed the president hasn't spoken on it. I expect him to, as soon as possible, speak on the issue, because we've seen him speak on issues that, didn't even have this national appeal. And finally, you are saying you are giving a State of a Nation address, really, when the nights before or the dawn before the military were on rampage. What else was the State of the Nation at the time, when it was so obvious that the public angst really at the time, and the State of the Nation at the time was that of public angst against the military? So, it's quite unfortunate.
A lot of people are expecting the president to speak. I'm sure that the president will speak in due course. And also the Interior and Defense Committee of Parliament, together with the Ministry of Defense and also the military High Command, will visit the place next Thursday, according to Kennedy Japan, who is the chairman of the committee. This is still CNR Extra here on Citi TV. Still to come. Tension mounting at Dondoli, a suburb of Wa in the Upper West region, following the killing of a middle-aged man by the police. Stay with us. We'll be back with more stories.
Plus is a fully skimmed evaporated milk. Creamy Plus is available in a shop near you.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
You're welcome back. This is CNR Extra on Citi TV. You can join us with your thoughts, submissions, and comments via WhatsApp line 0204447033. Let's take you to the Upper West region, where tension is mounting at Dondoli, a suburb of Wa, following the killing of a middle-aged man by the police.
Tension is mounting at Dondoli, a suburb of Wa in the Upper West regional capital, following the killing of a middle-aged man by the police last night. The deceased is reported to have been killed by police anti-robbery task force because of his alleged involvement in a robbery gang that has been operating within Wa and its environs. The incident has caused outrage and agitation within the Dondoli community as some residents deny the involvement of the victim in any criminality, adding that the police's explanation after the killing is but a figment to cast a slur on the deceased. There's more in the following report by Citi News' Latif Mahama.
It was a moment of sorrow and disbelief as family members and sympathizers shared uncontrollable tears after the news broke of the demise of Abubakar Shahaban. Family members say he left home on Wednesday at about 8 p.m. to visit a friend, but did not return. They woke up on Thursday to the news that He was shot and killed by the police on suspicion that he was part of a robbery syndicate. The late Shaban is known by many as an Islamic scholar whose integrity is not in doubt. According to some of these mourners, they are pained not only by the death of the man of God, but by the robbery tag on him by the police.
I reached his house and he was not in the house. So I called him and he was on motorbike while we were talking. So I hear him say, hey, 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 hey. And the call ended. A few minutes later, like 2 minutes, he called back and said that he was shot with a gun around Tembileju Road. So I should call his relatives so we will come for his rescue. When we reached there, there is a barrier before the place the incident happened. So we reached the barrier and we lodged our complaint to the barrier. But the barrier people, police there, said they didn't hear anything. We were still complaining to the police before another policeman came with the motorbike he was riding. And then I asked the police that, where is the owner of the motorbike? And he asked me again, that is the motorbike for me? And I said, no, it's for my brother, the one that they shoot. And he asked me that we should go to police station and wait for him there. We went to the police station while waiting for him. Then they come with a car. They released some people, but my brother was not there. We asked him, where is our brother? Then the commander said that we are challenging him. And we said, we are not challenging you. We are asking you, our brother, whereabouts. We went to municipal hospital and he was not there. And today morning we went to regional hospital to find that the doctor said that they brought a diseased person and the person is at the mortuary. So we should go and see. We should go and check whether if that person is our brother. Unfortunately, when we reached there, it was our brother lying down, sadly, with a gunshot at the stomach, while the police was complaining that he was running when they shoot him. They would have shot behind if the case was true, but they shot his stomach.
66-year-old mother of the late man of God says her son has been law-abiding and therefore had no hand in the allegations leveled against him by the police. The youth of Dondoli who are angered by the incident say the killing of innocent people in the area are becoming one too many and are calling for justice to be served. When Citi News contacted the Upper West Regional Police Command, they declined to speak on camera but insisted that the victim was part of a robbery gang. The command says some members of the gang were arrested while one person escaped with police handcuffs last night. The command further indicated that the incident will be thoroughly investigated to apprehend all other persons connected to the gang. The body of the deceased was deposited at the Upper West Regional Hospital morgue at the time of filing this report, pending autopsy.
The family of Abubakar Shahid insists their deceased relative is innocent about the crime leveled against him by the police, leading to his death. They are thus appealing to the government, especially the IGP, to ensure justice is served. Reporting for Citi News, Latif Mahama, Dondoli.
So the family is asking that justice should be served, and this comes at the back of what is happening recently. It looks like in recent times a lot of killings, a lot of issue with security. Don't you think that the sector minister and also the agencies in charge must be up and doing? Because if it has to do with the police, it has to do with the military, and they are allegedly involved in these things. Don't you think that is a dent on the security system in the country?
Not forgetting, not too long ago, I believe quite a number of security men were also killed within a period. I mean, there seems to be a breakdown in discipline really in the country, and it's very unfortunate that this is happening. Anytime we lose a service member, for me, it's very painful because these are people who sacrifice a lot for the country. They put their lives in harm's way for our sake.
I think I side with the defense minister, Dominic Nitu, when he said that there should be peaceful coexistence between the citizens and security officers. Sometimes some of the citizens tend to believe that, okay, fine, you are wearing your uniform and you want to feel as if you are better than me and you want to brutalize or whatever. But it looks like what is happening right now, some sort of respect or some sort of peaceful coexistence is lacking amongst these two individuals, ourselves, the civilians, and also the people in the uniforms.
Yeah, it goes back to the point I was making. I'm saying when we live in a democracy, right, it can be very noisy at times where people have different views for everything. But core to it is the need for respect for one another.
Yeah, very much important.
Democracy, or living in a democracy, like I said, should be an enterprise where there's respect for one another's values, respect for one another's opinions, and of course, respect for authority. And in the past couple of years, you've seen the respect for our servicemen dwindle a little. But I see it's really to an extent their own doing, because when Afrobarometer puts out a report and lists the police service as one of the most corrupt public institutions in the country, you don't necessarily expect respect in return. So they say what respect is reciprocated, right? You don't force it, you earn it. So to an extent, maybe the actions of our security, our servicemen has not been the best in recent times. But Philip, that notwithstanding, the killing of the police officer is condemnable, and we want to plead with the authorities to ensure that they reach a logical conclusion.
So it's actually the killing of a middle-aged man. It's alleged that is being done by a police officer. But I think the peaceful coexistence is needed. We have to relate with the military or the police officers very well, because they are protecting us. Mind you, they are in charge of security in this country. Let's go to the Ashanti region, and a very sad story there that has to do with the death of a 21-year-old girl who died at Breman following a heavy downpour in the area.
A 21-year-old girl is feared dead at Burmai in the Swami municipality of the Ashanti region following Wednesday evening's downpour. Scores have been displaced in parts of the Ashanti region, such as Aswase, due to the floods. The rains also led to flooding at the new Kejetia market and Anloga junctions, where some cars were submerged in floodwaters and many commuters were left stranded. Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Opomafo, was there and reports. Edward, what more can you tell us?
We're here at Breman, a suburb called New York. This is where a young lady, we understand she is around 21 years old, she got drowned here. What we've been told is that her sandals got stuck while it was raining, and in her attempt to retrieve the sandals, she was washed away by the floodwaters. We're here to speak to the eyewitnesses and some family members.
Na abaya na bejina nso na no han musi. Ena me se anana hwesa akra yi obeto nso no kwa hefa. No wo hye ne papa ba ko no yiye no de to esoro han musi. Etimi na metia ne se wo no oba nanim. Metia ne se won san na chi na me kunu so we no wo tia no. Se wo mra na chi na won timi nya de entwa nso nti won san. Ye tia no won fie efie hafo susu hui. No mo so tia no se won san. Ye tia ni bia wan fi nso na no na nso na no den pa. Ti wo tu ni na esi nso ni mu na no. E na echin wo du oba na nim o tia mu na ya nte ni kan biem.
Ne sa no pay e janran me fewra ye ko police station UGC. No mo ko popo so no sa no pane abetwero. Na no pomu che omumu ebi ko ahemfi ni. Me fewra mo ko ahemfi ni bi so ko police station ho. Mu wie no mo ko pay konfo panyi. O ma ba ya mamre bibia mo se de ehwe ni mu. De nyame be ye no. Ne de asedama no. Ti papa na me hwe okatachie no. So abadom me. Wani mi ba ne mamme.
As a result of Wednesday evening's rains, many parts of the Ashanti region got flooded, and there are homes that have been affected to the extent that a lot of people have been displaced. We're here within Asawase to find out how people have been affected by this.
We've been affected many years since we've been in this community. Whenever it rains, we incur a lot of damages or fence wall. Every year when we came to rainy season, we incur a lot of debt.
So for how long have you been here?
So the rains will be setting in soon. We've seen some of the rain falling in recent times, but the major one will be following very soon, and it has to do with the issues of flooding in this country. I think that this is the time that the president's directive that he gave as of last year, that buildings on waterways, people who are erecting buildings at wrong places and all that, the assemblies must take up, because having someone die as a result of flooding is a sad incident.
And after Tuesday's downpour, I believe 2 people died. We understood that 2 people died in Botiano too as a result of the rain. So it's unfortunate. I mean, when does all of this end? You get it. So proper planning is required, and this is where we really want to charge the various assemblies. They should be up and doing, and I mean, they should do their job well. And I'm sure when they go into it, they'll be able to stop some of these structures that are being built on waterways and the likes, which has become the cause of our perennial flooding problem in this country.
So this is like just a wake-up call to all of us, because the rains will soon be setting in, and when they come, they're going to bring a lot of chaos in most communities. But the assemblies and the various authorities must be up and doing when it comes to this issue. This is still CNR Extra here on Citi TV, still to come. Patrons on Citi TV's Heritage Caravan given a treat of a lifetime at Hughesbet Hotel in Sunyani in the Bono region, with another fun-filled time at the Maha Beach Resort on Thursday. Stay with us, we'll be back with that story.
Get ready to experience a night like never before with Ashaiman Messi, Kofi Osipepra, PSA Esther, Uncle Lato, Ella Duncan Williams, and your host MOG. Also ministering Keepers Music and Liberty Voices Choir as MOG Music presents New Wine Concert. Theme: The Coming Glory, on Sunday the 19th of March 2023 at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel Ahimfie. Time 5 p.m. Rate 200 Ghana Cedis VIP. Gallery Standard 40 Ghana Cedis. Gallery Double 70 Ghana Cedis. Regular Standard 80 Ghana Cedis. Regular Double 150 Ghana Cedis. Visit www.tickets.newwineconcert.com or dial *389*777# to purchase your tickets. Sponsors: Oduma, Bell Beverages, Bell Aqua, Total Family Health Organization, First Choice Hair and Beauty Salon, Tank Palace, DDP, eTransact, Oasis Studios. Media partners. For more information, call 0500 053 881.
This year, the 98-year group of Santa Clausians invites you to the 113th Speech Day on Saturday, 11th March 2023 at 8 a.m. prompt. Under the theme, Ours to Do Exploits and Add to Their Gain, the Santa Clausians' Role in National Development. Come and experience their disco spirit in full flight. Play up, Santa Clausians.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you the fun that the Caravanites are having in Sunyani as of when they left that place that has to do with the Hughesbet, or they went to Hughesbet Hotel rather in Sunyani. They had much fun there. Let's bring you that insert.
Patrons on Citi TV's Heritage Caravan were given a treat of a lifetime at the Hughesbet Hotel in Sunyani in the Bono region after touring the Mule National Park on Wednesday. The Caravanites will on Thursday night have another fun-filled time at the Maha Beach Resort as they enjoy a formal dinner. Citi News' Kweku Ediamansa is with the Caravanites and reports.
So we are inching closer to the end of the 2023 edition of the Heritage Caravan, which is being organized by Citi FM and Citi TV, with other partners also sponsoring this particular event. Well, today is the 6th day, and we're currently in Sunyani, precisely at the Uzbek Hotel, where patrons are currently getting their luggage on the bus, their respective buses, and will be moving to our next destination, which will be at Atuabo in the Western. See, on the right side, we have Hollard Insurance. They are proud sponsors of this particular occasion, and so you see them with their stands here. I don't know what they have here. Hi, things. What are they?
Sure, some few snacks on the go. So these are for caravanites. So as they get on the bus, they can be chewing on them as they go along. Some treats from Hollard as usual.
For Uzbek, what we believe in is to exceed the expectations of the guests, and that's all that we set ourselves to do. We don't want the guests to come and it's normal. No, there must be something that is extra to the experience, and that is what we are always interested in doing. And so when we know that you guys were coming, we decided to put in a lot of measures to ensure that some might not probably have gotten the best of experiences in other places, but when they come here, we want to correct everything, give them something to smile about, something to be happy about. And I'm sure with your interactions with some of them, they will tell you that I heard somebody saying that for him the caravan just started because he feels that the experience that they've had here is nothing compared to cannot be compared to what they have experienced before.
So you can see a lot of them wearing their Hollard T-shirts because today's event is being sponsored by Hollard, and well, Freeman is calling her people to get into the buses because we have to leave here for our next destination. Remember that when we get to the Western region, we're going to have an event there. That is going to be a formal dinner, but I will be engaging some of the patrons.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Like traveling across regions, meeting new people, meeting friends on the bus and all that. It's been amazing. Quite an experience.
Great. And we're now leaving. We are going to be on the bus for at least 10 good hours. What was your experience like when we're traveling back down and we spent over 12 to 13 hours?
So our bus, we like to have nice games and
Maha Beach. Yeah, any resorts in front of the sea, around the sea, Charlie. Superb. We expect a lot. There's a dinner dance over there. We are ready. We are swift. I mean, for the past few days, we've been like the Ari guys, the Jago guys. Yeah. But I mean, tonight we are going to be gentle. Formal. Yeah. I say like we want to show the world that it's not only about shorts and then some t-shirts, but we can wear suits and stuff too. So we're expecting a lot. You understand? Okay. But I think we need to add some few more days to it so that I can ask for another 2 days for leave.
If I can quickly get on the bus, let me just try and see the experience. Well, I'll just do a quick shout here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. All right, so let me just explain that one. So anytime you hear let's go, it means that we all need to be moving from our rooms. I mean, let's get on board and we'll move our way to our next destination. Let me speak to some of the people here. Okay, so you have your things packed. We're moving to Atuabo Maha Beach Resort. What are you looking forward to?
Okay, I was there last year, so I have a bit of what to expect. But I'm just looking forward to a very good time there again.
Well, some people are saying that if it's possible, we should, add 2 more days to the trip.
I agree.
I
totally agree. If we do like 2 weeks, it'll be fine.
2 good weeks?
Yes, 2 good weeks. 10 days. Okay, 10 days. But 1 more day here in Uzbek.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 more day here in Uzbek.
Okay.
Totally enjoyable experience, and particularly here at Uzbek Hotel. It's been a wonderful experience. Too bad we have to leave. We didn't quite enjoy all the facilities, but it's been fantastic so far.
Citi ya Koko. Citi ya Koko. Uzbek ya Koko. Maha ya Koko.
So the 10-hour journey was not as boring as you would think it was, because there were several activities happening on each of the buses. That is on bus 1, bus 2 and bus 3, because we had some of our sponsors taking advantage of the situation to, talk about the goodies they have for their patrons.
So the fun at Hughesbert Hotel seems to be a tip of the iceberg. Well, let's go to Cape Coast, or rather Maha Beach Resort, where much fun for the Heritage Caravanites did it there.
It's been a very long journey, but this morning we're taking it quite easy here at the Maha Beach Resort. And the patrons actually had fun, enough fun for that matter. They were excited about this whole package, and they woke up to a breakfast after exhausting the night and even having dinner. And those who marked their birthdays in the month of March were celebrated. This morning we took our breakfast and we are just relaxing, taking it easy. This morning, as of almost 11 a.m., you would see them relaxed, taking pictures, and then enjoying. Oh, tell us, how they be?
Charlie, Citi TV, you do all, Charlie. From Accra to Paga to Tamale to Kumasi to Sunyani to Bolgatanga to the Crocodile. Hey, Charlie, you guys, Charlie, you be champion. Hey, make sure this guy see the news.
But how will you rate? How will you rate the experience?
110. If it had not been you, I'm a Ghanaian. If it had not been you, I wouldn't have gone to a lot of these places, the Paga and all those things. It's a disgrace for a Ghanaian not to know all these places. So, thanks to you, the rating there, 100, more than excellent.
If this is my first time hearing about Maha Beach Resort, what should come to mind?
Oh, it's a great place where you can have fun, where you can relax and be stress-free. And very close to the nature. It's a place where when you cross the gates, you say, wow. Yes, because the people who are at your service give you the best.
It's a dream come true.
Thank you. If you had to describe this in one word, the whole experience, what word would that be?
Fantastic and enjoyable.
Describe the feeling in one word. What would that be?
Oh, excellent.
Thank you. Describe it in one word.
Awesome.
Oh, you are hearing it from our patrons who are actually leaving the premises of the Maha Beach Resort and heading to Cape Coast, Palmland Hotel, where we are going to have a whole lot of fun and treats. See the entrance. People are leaving. They are exiting Maha and they just don't want to leave. Pictures are being taken for the last, and people are...
Too much fun there at Maha Beach Resort. The Heritage Caravanites are enjoying the well. The Citi FM, Citi TV's Heritage Caravan is making its way to Second D, still in the western region, to catch a glimpse of the harbour before moving to its final destination in the central region on day 7. I still wish I'm on this caravan.
When I saw them and the way I almost took my phone and texted Ashaiman and said, "Boss, Charlie,
I have to come.
Next year I'm on the team." Because Charlie, you know that funny meme that said, the enjoyment, I enjoyed over.
And you know, some of them are asking for extension. They're asking that at least it should be moved from the 7 days to 10 days or possibly some 14 days and more extension. Others are also asking that it should be done at least twice a year.
The truth of the matter is that you can really trust the Citi experience. There's no two ways about that. So, if you've missed out on it, it's unfortunate. But hey, we have the food bazaar coming up. So for all those who still want a part of the Citi experience, I'm sure they can still go and register to be part of the food bazaar as a vendor, or come and just treat your taste buds.
Everything Citi is just fun.
The experience is top notch.
So make sure that next year you are part of the Heritage Caravan. Start your saving now. I keep telling you this, so that next year you can be part of the caravan. My name is Philip Nilacha. I did this with Jude Mensah Duncan. This has been the CNR show on Citi TV. This is how we draw the curtains down on the show today. And many thanks for your time. Keep watching Citi TV.